Hey there, wildlife enthusiasts and lovers of all things adorable. Welcome to Fluffy Family Videos, the channel where we celebrate the animal kingdom in all its quirky glory. Today, we're strapping on our hiking boots, virtually of course, and venturing into the wonderful world of deer. Get ready for some serious cuteness overload. We've got 10 fun facts about these graceful creatures that are sure to leave you saying, "Aw, 1 minute and no way," the next. So, buckle up, grab your binoculars, and let's embark on this wild adventure together. It's gonna be fawn-tastic. All right, folks, before we dive into the fascinating world of deer facts, we gotta kick things off with a hilarious clip. Because who doesn't love a good animal video to brighten their day? And trust me, this one's a real hoot. You're gonna see a deer doing something so unexpected, so unbelievably funny, that you'll be questioning everything you thought you knew about these seemingly gentle creatures. I mean, we're used to seeing them gracefully leaping through meadows and nibbling on leaves, right? Well, get ready to have your mind blown because this deer's got some serious moves. Get ready to laugh your antlers off because this is one clip you won't forget anytime soon. Oh man, did you see that? That deer's got moves like Jagger. I'm telling you, those deer are up to all sorts of shenanigans when we're not looking. That was amazing. I've never seen a deer do before. They're full of surprises, aren't they? And you know what? That's what makes them so fascinating. They're full of surprises, just waiting to be discovered. So now that we've had our daily dose of laughter, let's dive into some incredible facts about these amazing animals. All right, folks, get ready for our first deer fact. And it's a big one. Did you know that there are more than just a few types of deer roaming around out there? We're not just talking white-tailed deer here, folks. Oh no, the deer family is way bigger than that. We're talking a full-blown family reunion. In fact, there are over 40 different species of deer found all over the world. From the majestic elk to the tiny poodoo, these animals come in all shapes and sizes. That's right, you heard me correctly. 43 different species of deer, each one unique and amazing in its own way. We're talking 43 different kinds of antlers, 43 different ways of prancing through the forest, 43 different reasons to say, "ah" at your screen. It's like a never-ending buffet of delightful diversity. And speaking of diversity, let's talk about one of the rarest members of the deer family, the Philippine spotted deer. All right, folks, buckle up, because we're diving into the world of the rarest deer on the planet. I'm talking about the Philippine spotted deer. These elusive creatures are like the ninjas of the deer world. Seriously, they're like tiny, adorable ghosts with spots. Scientists think there might be fewer than 250 left in the wild. Now, you might be wondering, why are these fabulous fawned friends so rare? Well, it's a real bummer, but it's mostly our fault. Habitat loss and, get this, hunting has really done a number on their population. But hey, don't go full-on guilt trip on yourselves just yet. There's good news too. There are some seriously dedicated folks out there working their tails off to protect these guys. They're creating protected areas, working on breeding programs, and basically doing everything they can to make sure these spotted cuties stick around for a long, long time. And you know what? It's working. The Philippine spotted deer population is actually stabilizing, which is like the best news ever. It's like hearing your favorite band is getting back together for a reunion tour. So let's give a big round of applause to all the conservation heroes out there saving these incredible animals. You guys are the real rock stars. All right, from the rarest deer in the world, let's zip on over to the most common, the white-tailed deer. You know them, you love them, you've probably almost hit one with your car at some point. Hey, it happens to the best of us. These guys are as American as apple pie, baseball, and well, complaining about deer eating your garden. Seriously, they're everywhere. From the forests to your grandma's backyard, these deer are the ultimate survivors. And speaking of surviving, have you ever seen a white-tailed deer run? Talk about a natural athlete. They can reach speeds of up to 40 miles per hour, which is faster than my Uncle Steve after a 3-bean chili cook-off. They're also incredible jumpers, clearing fences, bushes, and probably the occasional small child with ease. Don't worry, the kids are usually fine. Usually. Now, you might be thinking, white-tailed deer, they're a dime a dozen. What's so special about them? Well, hold your horses, my friend. These deer are way cooler than you might think. For starters, they're incredibly adaptable. They can live in a wide range of habitats, from forests and grasslands to, as I mentioned before, your grandma's backyard. They're basically the Bear Grylls of the deer world. Plus, they're super social animals. They live in herds, they communicate with each other using a variety of sounds and scents, and they even have best friends. I know, right? Adorable. So next time you see a white-tailed deer, don't just dismiss it as another garden-munching menace. Take a moment to appreciate these amazing creatures and their incredible ability to thrive, even in the most unexpected places. Let's talk about the antlers on the deer. Deer antlers are some of the most impressive headgear in the animal kingdom. Move-over hats antlers are where it's at. These things are huge, pointy, and grow faster than a teenager in a candy store. And they shed those bad boys every year. They grow a new set, bigger and more impressive each time. Now, you might be wondering, why go through all that trouble? Why grow these massive antlers only to shed them and start all over again? Well, my friends, it all comes down to one thing: love, or more specifically, the right to mate. You see, deer antlers are basically nature's version of a boxing glove and a status symbol all rolled into one. During mating season, male deer, or bucks as the cool kids call them, use their antlers to, settle disputes over ladies. It's like a scene straight out of a nature documentary, with bucks locking antlers and pushing each other around like they're in a slow-motion mosh pit. It's intense, it's dramatic, and the winner gets the girl. So next time you see a deer with a magnificent set of antlers, give him a nod of respect. He's earned it. Did you know that deer have their own secret language? They don't even need phones to text each other. It's like, hey, wanna hang out by the lake later? I heard there's gonna be a salad bar there. OMG, totally. I'll bring the hummus. Deer communicate in amazing ways. They use barks, grunts, and high-pitched whistles, and they use body language to get their point across, raising tails, stomping feet, and flashing ears. Deer have an incredible sense of smell. They can detect danger, find food, and recognize other deer. It's like they have built-in GPS systems. And speaking of GPS, have you ever seen a deer run? It's like they're shot out of a cannon. Those things can really move when they need to. All that running and sniffing takes a lot of energy. They conserve energy by blending in with their surroundings. It's like they're playing a never-ending game of hide-and-seek with predators. All right, folks, get ready for this one. You know how we were just talking about deer being masters of disguise? Well, some deer take it to a whole other level. I'm talking about the Chinese water deer. These guys are like the ultimate swimmers of the deer world. I mean, forget about Michael Phelps. These deer were born to be in the water. They live in these marshy areas in China and Korea, and they're so good at swimming that they can even dive underwater to escape predators. Can you imagine seeing a deer just casually chilling in a lake? It'd be like, hey, Gary, what's up? Just catching some rays and working on my tan. And the best part is, they have these little fangs that make them look like tiny vampires. Okay, maybe not vampires, but they're definitely the coolest looking deer in the animal kingdom. But wait, there's more. Remember those Philippine spotted deer we were talking about earlier? The ones that are super rare and adorable? Well, guess what? They live on islands. It's like they're on a permanent vacation. I mean, who wouldn't want to live on a tropical island? Sunshine, beaches, all the coconuts you can eat. It's a deer's paradise. And the best part is, they don't even have to worry about traffic or paying rent. They just spend their days lounging around, eating delicious plants and soaking up the sun. It's enough to make you want to trade places with a deer. But hey, maybe that's just me. I've always wanted to try that whole living in the wild thing. Although, knowing my luck, I'd probably get lost in the woods and end up being chased by a squirrel or something. All right, folks, let's talk about food. And no, I'm not talking about pizza this time. I'm talking about what deer like to eat. Now, you might think that deer are like these graceful and elegant creatures. And don't get me wrong, they are. But when it comes to food, they're basically the garbage disposals of the animal kingdom. They'll eat pretty much anything they can get their hooves on. Grass, leaves, twigs, even bark. I mean, talk about not being picky eaters. They're like the vacuum cleaners of the forest, just going around and cleaning up all the scraps. It's actually pretty impressive when you think about it. And it's a good thing they have such diverse palates, because they need to eat a lot to fuel all that running and jumping and swimming they do. But here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that deer love mushrooms? And not just any mushrooms, but the kind that, let's just say, wouldn't exactly smell great in a salad. We're talking about the kind of mushrooms that make you go, whoa, what is that smell? But hey, more power to them, right? I mean, who am I to judge? Maybe those mushrooms taste like pizza to deer. Okay, probably not. But still, it's pretty funny to think about. Imagine seeing a deer just chowing down on a big, stinky mushroom and being like, delicious. Nothing like a little fungus to start the day. I don't know about you, but I think it's time to invent a new fragrance. Eau de deer mushroom. It'll be the hottest new scent on the market. Just kidding, please don't make that. All right, folks, buckle up, because we're about to talk about the ultimate road trip. The caribou migration. These guys don't mess around. We're talking hundreds of miles, folks. Hundreds. These animals are tough, they're determined, and they've got better stamina than a marathon runner hopped up on energy drinks. Imagine walking hundreds of miles through snow, ice, and who knows what else. These caribou deserve a round of applause. So why do they do it? Why do these caribou put themselves through this epic journey year after year? Well, it's all about the food, folks. They're basically on a never-ending quest for the freshest, tastiest lichen out there. Talk about dedication. And these caribou, they're not afraid to brave the elements to get their grub on. They'll trek through blizzards, cross frozen rivers, you name it. They're like the postal service of the animal kingdom, but instead of delivering mail, they're delivering themselves to, well, more food. But hey, it obviously works for them, right? I mean, have you seen a caribou lately? They're ripped. They're basically the marathon runners of the animal kingdom. So next time you're feeling lazy about going to the grocery store, just think of the caribou. They're out there braving the wild, all for a little bit of lichen. It puts things in perspective, doesn't it? And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, it's time for our final deer clip. Get ready to laugh, folks, because this one is a real doozy. We've got a deer, a mailbox, and a whole lot of confusion. This little guy thought he found an all-you-can-eat buffet, but it turns out mailboxes are surprisingly lacking in the snack department. Who knew? I'm not sure what's funnier, the deer's surprised expression or the homeowner who caught the whole thing on camera. I bet they had a good laugh over their morning coffee. This is why you don't get your life advice from squirrels, am I right? Those little guys will tell you anything as a snack dispenser if you ask them nicely. Hey, Mr. Squirrel, you think there's delicious treats in that metal box? Sure thing, buddy. Go for it. But hey, we've all been there, haven't we? That moment of, what am I doing with my life? This deer just happens to be living it out on camera, that's all. We salute you, Mr. Mailbox Deer. You're an inspiration to us all. And on that note, folks, we've reached the end of our dearly beloved episode. I hope you learned a thing or two and laughed along the way. Remember, always double-check before sticking your head in a mailbox, especially if you're a deer. Thanks for joining me on this wild ride through the wonderful world of deer. We've seen some amazing creatures, from the tiniest poodoo to the mightiest moose. We've learned about their habits, their habitats, and their love for all things leafy and green. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more funny animal videos and adventures. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep on exploring the wonders of the natural world. Subscribe for more funny animal videos and join us on our next adventure.